This is Patrick Christys tonight. We're only on GBNews. Former Mumford & Sons musician Winston Marshall is coming up about the threat that is already here, by the way, to Western civilisation. But first, former First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has made her much-anticipated appearance before the Scottish COVID inquiry today. It comes after allegations emerged that she deleted key pandemic WhatsApp messages, used the pandemic to push her own political agenda. But let's just cast our mind back, shall we, to August 2021, when Sturgeon was asked if she'd hand over all her WhatsApps to the inquiry. Here we go.
I think if you understand statutory public inquiries, you would know that even if I wasn't prepared to give that assurance, which for the avoidance of doubt I am, then I wouldn't have the ability. This will be a judge-led statutory public inquiry.
Which, for the avoidance of doubt, I am. OK. Well, you weren't, were you? But fast forward to today, and she was much less forthcoming.
WhatsApp messages between yourself and Mr Youssef and Ms Lloyd were produced by you. Where did you get them?
They were provided to me through the Scottish Government.
But did you delete them?
Yes.
Did you consider yourself, against that background and your considerable ministerial experience, to be precisely the right First Minister for the job?
No, that's not how I would have thought of it at all. There's a large part of me wishes that I hadn't been. It's for others to judge the extent to which I succeeded.
All right, then. I'm joined now by Tory MP Lee Anderson. Lee, are those just crocodile tears?
Well, it looks like crocodile tears to me, Patrick. I mean, first we had the missing camper van. Nobody knows where that is. Now we've got this nonsense. We've got these burner phones, dodgy £5 phones from wherever they bought them from, WhatsApp messages going missing. It all looks a little bit dodgy to me. I mean, she's bleating on there, she's crying on screen. This is not cutting no ice. You know, it's crocodile tears. It makes you wonder what the SNPs are all about, Patrick. It looks... I mean, the people that have burner phones, let's be clear, people that have these dodgy phones where you can't trace them and disappearing WhatsApp messages, these are normally criminals. These are drug dealers. And you know what? These SNPs are no better than criminals, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they will deny that, and we won't go into the ongoing legal issues facing Nicola Sturgeon. However, this is the matter in hand enough, really, isn't it, when it comes to the COVID inquiry? I mean, she's saying things like, oh, you know, I was never do anything for political gain. I mean, can we believe that?
It all sounds a little bit cranky to me, this does in Scotland. Look, I mean, the crocodile tears there are pathetic. Like I say, let's go back to these burner phones. Why are politicians buying phones with disappearing messages on that are burner phones that they can just throw away where nobody can investigate them? It's dodgy. It looks like criminal activity and, like I say, a little bit cranky.
Well, you know, I mean, to be fair, Lee, you know, Boris Johnson was deleting the WhatsApps, didn't he? I mean,
look,
so they're all at it, aren't
look,
they?
Listen, I've got disappearing messages on my phone, but it's my phone. I don't buy a burner phone. I'm of the mind, Patrick, that if I lose my phone anywhere in a public place, somebody can get hold of my phone and get it unlocked and look at messages between me and colleagues. But when you deliberately go out and buy a burner phone, which is what drug dealers and criminals and gangsters do, it looks a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, look, obviously, again, just want to emphasise, you know, that maybe whilst Lee might be making, you know, the kind of...
I'm not making no accusations.
Yeah, no, whilst he's making the point that, you know, obviously, OK, criminals and drug dealers, etc., do
normal people do not buy...
That is not the
normal
accusation
people do not buy burner
the
phones.
SNP here.
They don't buy burner phones.
Fine. Look, as we celebrate 4 years since leaving the European Union, Lee, I've got to ask, you know, was Brexit actually worth it, do you think?
Yes, it was. I campaigned for Brexit. I voted for Brexit. Totally support Brexit. And if the vote came again, I would support it. Look, we are an independent nation now. It's not perfect, Patrick, but, you know, we want to... I mean, the European Union, it started off as a common market back in the early 70s. When I was a kid, it quickly became a political union. I want to live in a country where we make our own decisions, where we make our own political decisions and we govern ourselves. And Brexit, you know, for all its faults, has done that.
Well, let's just have a little look through. So it's quite a bombshell new poll revealing. So 57% of Brits think Brexit was a failure. With yet more red tape, European imports of meat and fish set to come into effect tomorrow. You know, Brexit hasn't been the overwhelming success that a lot of people thought it might be.
Well, look, Patrick, I think this is Evening Standard, is it? This poll?
Well, they commissioned it, I think.
They commissioned, yeah. This is a poll of people that voted Remain. Right. So, obviously, they're going to be saying it's been a failure. I'm quite surprised at you, Patrick, having this poll on here tonight. This is a pathetic poll from a load of Remainers. They need to shut up and get on with it.
When it comes to immigration, though, as well, Lee, you know, when people voted for Brexit, people did not vote for record levels of people, especially from you know, Africa and the subcontinent. I mean, that is a problem. I think that, for me anyway, is probably the ultimate Brexit betrayal. I do concede we've still got the chance to get that right. The opportunities of Brexit are still all there for us. We just have to be prepared to take them. My concern would be if we're staring down the barrel of a Labour government, which we may well be, right? You know, is it going to get worse, not better?
Look, I mean, I agree with you, Patrick, in that the immigration problem has got worse. I'm not going to make no excuses about that. I'm one of these people that are slightly at odds with my own party. I don't agree with the points-based immigration system. I do not believe in recruiting the brightest and the best from around the world. I strongly believe that the brightest and the best people in the world live in this country. There are doctors, there are nurses, there are solicitors, there are teachers, there are brain surgeons on every single street in this country. It's our job as politicians and as training providers to find these people, recruit them and make them work within this country. The idea that we've got to get the brightest and the best from around the country is absolute nonsense to me. And what we're actually doing, I mean, we've got the points-based immigration system, but we're also importing third world labour as well to work in our car washers, Patrick. What's all that about? It's absolute nonsense.
Do you buy that argument then? All right, well, Brits don't want to do those jobs.
Well, make them do the job.
Say,
look, we've got a very generous benefit system in this country. If these people do not want to go to work, then stop their benefits. I mean, I remember a time, if you didn't go to work, you didn't get paid. And it's like that, Patrick, in a lot of countries around the world. Go to work, stop being idle, go to work and pay your way in society and have a stake in this great country of ours.
All right, OK, Lee, look, thank you very, very much. It's helpful stuff. I will just reiterate again that there is absolutely no evidence that Nicola Sturgeon is indeed a criminal or a drug dealer or anything like that. There we go. Tory MP Lee Anderson, thank you very much. Now,